So we can find out. 13 ranked teams go on the road this week. We already saw one lose last night. Utah against Oregon State, 21-7. The game wasn't even really that close. Oregon State beat them on both sides of the ball up front. Utah really needs Cam Rising to come back. Without him, Utah is looking like the looking like the Iowa of the Big Ten in the Pac-12. They cannot move the ball at all without Cam Rising. It's looking like defense playing great, just like Iowa does, but can't move the ball. Last night, Nate Johnson, 8 of 23. That's not going to work, which led to Oregon State loading the box, only allowing 54, 57 yards rushing. Utah, we found out, needs Cam Rising back, which actually made me realize how good is Washington State, because Washington State beat Oregon State. This Pac-12 is going to be good now with USC, Oregon State, Washington State. Pac-12 is looking fun. Speaking more in the Pac-12, we're going to find out with USC this week. We already found out about Colorado last week that Deion Sanders is doing a great job. He really is. Tripled their wins already this year. He's building the program. Great character kids. Shador, Hunter. Hunter's really impressing me, man, especially with that whole thing coming out to the Colorado State safety, making the video of them shaking hands. Even though we all know it was a dirty hit the safety did on Hunter, but he came out and kind of shook hands, made amends with him. This is a kid we're talking about too. Usually kids don't do stuff like that. I'm really impressed with Hunter. But anyway, to the game. USC, they haven't played anyone yet. Their combined record of teams they ever played are 3-14. They played a 1-3 team, another 1-3 team, a 1-4 team, and 0-4 team. So obviously Caleb Williams, defending Heisman champ, is a great player. And they have my favorite player in the country, Branch, the freshman. Whew, that kid is explosive. But we're about to find out how he really is right now against a better team than they've played so far. I definitely don't want to say a great team after what we saw last week, but I think our find out this week is USC now. How good is USC? I think this week USC versus Colorado has a better chance of being a great game that we're hoping last week would have been against Oregon. I think we're all hoping it would have been like a shootout. I know I was. I thought Oregon was going to win 52-38, but obviously that wasn't close. I think this week has a better chance of that. USC doesn't. They want to spread it out, throw the ball around, use their athletes. That's what Colorado wants to do. I actually think if USC does what they usually do by spreading the ball out and throwing it around, I actually think that could actually haunt them this week. I think that's how Colorado stays in the game if USC does that. I think USC needs to take a little bit out of Oregon's blueprint and take advantage of Oregon's weakness, Colorado's weakness, my bad, which is up front on both sides of the ball. And it's the most important thing behind quarterback in the game. I think USC, as I said, needs to punch them right in the mouth. USC needs to run the ball on Colorado. If they just want to line up like they always do and spread it around, athletes in Colorado, they can keep up with them. They really can. Colorado has some serious athletes out there. So I'm putting this week actually on a testament of Lincoln Riley and his staff. How do they prepare these guys for that? Change it up a little bit. Utilize your opponent's weakness. Colorado, on the other hand, I think they'll be better than they were last week against Oregon. I think part of that's because matchup. As I said, USC is not quite as good up front, and they don't want to pound the rock. But they got to protect Sanders. I almost said we because I'm a fan of Colorado now. They got to protect Sanders, man. And I watched a couple of interviews with Deion. Someone asked him about keeping a back and keeping a tight end in, keeping both in. He said then it doesn't allow his athletes to run around. You only have 2 or 3 receivers in a route if you do that. So it sounds like that's not a thing he wants to do. So I think another suggestion, what I would do personally, if I'm the Colorado staff, to protect Sanders better. Right at the opening drive, start off with some bubbles, some wide receiver screens, uh, halfback screens, slants, quick outs. Get rid of the ball quick. I think that's what Colorado really needs to do in order to be successful. I think it's their best chance going forward against some of these better teams. These like the Oregons that we just saw, the USC, the Utahs, Oregon State, Washington State, UCLA. Man, there's another one. Pac-12 stacked. And I think that's what Colorado has to do going forward. They don't have to stick with it the whole game, but definitely start it off that way. So the D line is not getting to the quarterback, tiring them out because you're just getting rid of the ball real quick. Slants, outs, bubbles, screens. Get rid of the ball quick. Um, yeah, so this is a find out week. I guess find out for Colorado too. How's this coaching staff and how's the players feeling after that? Got their butt whooped last week. How's it? How do they respond? USC, you haven't really played anyone yet. Now you're playing some serious athletes out there. How do you respond? So yeah, I'm going with USC overall though here. I think it's gonna be closer than it was last week. I think the spread's 21.5. I think it's gonna be pretty close to that. Probably like a 42-17, 42-24 range. USC. I'm just gonna make a quick video right here. So I just want to touch up on an upset action that's gonna happen this week. It's kind of crazy now. I put it in one of my bets too. Um, we're gonna find out about Kansas. The Kansas Jayhawks are 4-0. They started off hot like this last year too and lost. But here's why I'm picking Kansas to win this week. Texas, as we all know, has been known to play to their level of competition. They did it with Rice this year, and then they beat Bama. They did it a whole bunch of times last year, where they played great against great teams and bad against bad teams. Not that Kansas is bad, but they're not. They're not typical Power Five level. But yeah, I'm going Kansas because Texas plays down at their lower level, and Texas has the big Red River shootout next week against Oklahoma. If they look forward ahead of that game, and you got Kansas today with Daniels at quarterback, 4-0, playing good defense, running the ball good. I'm looking at Kansas here with the upset. Texas going to play down to them, and look ahead to next week. I'm going Kansas here with the win, 7 to 10 points. Kind of hope I'm wrong because I'm really a big fan. I like Quinn Ewers and Xavier Worthy, and I want Texas to be in the playoff. I do. I think Texas being back is good for college football. Um, so yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, Texas can still make the playoff regardless, even if they lose this game, especially make up for it next week against Oklahoma. But that's the upset I'm going with of the week there. Uh, yeah. So yeah, just a quick little video. First video we made. Uh, yeah. Let's just continue this thing, and I might make an NFL one tomorrow. Just have fun doing this. Gotta go to the gym. Gotta get my energy drink now. So yeah, that's it.